All right, so you should have gotten the little recording notification. So as I said, I'm Wendy Fringer, the Associate Director of Pre-College, and my role really here is to help you all get into the Summer Language Institute, manage the application process, help you with that. And then once you are here, I try to make sure everything's comfortable, you've got the right food, you've got places to live that are nice, you've got friends, you've got all those things. I handle all that. I don't handle the academics so much. So you'll see a number of other people on this call who do have that expertise and who can speak to the academics and to sort of the design of the program. So what I'm going to do tonight is take you through some of the different aspects. And at the end of our presentations, we'll have a few more words about the academic programs and Chinese and Arabic. I know some of you are considering both and you're trying to decide between them. So maybe you can get a little information there. And then we'll just open it to questions. This is a really informal session tonight. So we'll be here as long as you need us to be. So I want to start just by explaining that the programs that we coordinate in our office, if you look at our website, you'll see we have a lot of different programs. We have programs for little itty bitty kids all the way up to incoming freshmen. The program that you're in, the Summer Language Institute, is a part of our larger family of programs called Summer College. So if you join us this summer, you may get emails that say Summer College on them. They're meant for you too, because a lot of the things that are pertinent for Summer Language Institute students, like how to accept your scholarships, how to get food on campus, all those things, those are for you. It's the same for Summer College as for Summer Language. You're like a special group within Summer College, and we have a number of those. We have students who are here for leadership, students who are here for the arts. So this is like one special program within Summer College. We wanted to give you a sense of sort of how you fit in here. Something else that's kind of special about Summer Language and about Summer College is that while you're living here, you are taking college level classes. So you are beginning to build, if you haven't already begun, you're beginning to build that sort of transcript for college that's going to follow you wherever you go, whether you come to the University of Mississippi or somewhere else. So let's talk a little bit about what the Summer Language Institute is. I know some of you are already so far into this process, you've, applied. Some of you may have already participated and you're returning this year and you're just trying to learn how it's going to be different this year. But some of you have just clicked yes on the interest form 2 days ago. So I'm going to take you through a little bit what the Summer Language Institute is. So the Summer Language Institute is an opportunity to study language and culture together in a really intensive month of college course instruction. Some things that distinguish our approach to language instruction here, and I know our faculty can speak to this more than I can, but some things that are really important to us are that you get functional in a language. So you aren't just, memorizing a list of furniture that's in a house, learning how to introduce your family members. If you're like a beginner in the language, you may leave with the competence to order food in a restaurant. If you're sort of in the middle, you're like in like a level 2 sort of class for us, you may be able to offer people guidance if they're planning trips across China. You may be able to speak to the Silk Road and be able to offer them travel information. And if you're a more advanced student, you may be able to talk about environmental issues or politics or contemporary controversies in the culture that you've been studying and in the language that you've been studying. So those are some of the competencies. It's an example of, we really want you to be able to converse and to use the language. Our instructors use real texts and videos. So you'll look at advertisements or newspapers, you'll watch videos. And so we feel like this approach to language instruction has a particularly strong impact. Students seem to love it. Last year, they were singing songs in the language. They bring it back to the residence halls. I hear it. I don't know what people are saying, but they're talking and bringing that language home, even if they're beginners. So it's a really powerful and satisfying, I think, approach to language instruction if you haven't experienced that kind of thing before. And in order to get you up to speed in that really intensive month of instruction, you will have daily classes Monday through Friday. You will have cultural enrichment programming in the afternoons. Usually that is led by either the teachers or our tutor counselors. I'll speak a little bit more about that later. And it could be anything from doing some Tai Chi, that's the picture you see here, creating some food, cooking together. It takes a lot of different forms, watching a movie, but it's really fun. It's kind of a way to let your hair down at the end of the day, but continue to still get exposure to the cultural elements that they want you to learn about. And tutoring is also a piece of the program. So if you're thinking an intensive language program, will I be able to measure up? Will I be able to get all that information in such a short time? We have tutors who will work with you in a dedicated fashion on a regular basis, and you will definitely be impressed with all that you can accomplish with their support. So that's the academic piece. I do want to stop here really quickly, just to have some of our folks who are on the call from the different programs introduce themselves. I'm going to ask them to say a little bit more later about their programs, but I thought it would be nice before we move on, just to hear from you. So Arabic folks, would you mind introducing yourselves just to put some faces and names together for the students? Maybe Dr. Clark. And Lauren. Go ahead, Lauren. I see you're unmuted.
Okay. Hey, y'all. My name is Lauren Burns. I am the project coordinator for the Arabic flagship program. So I'm kind of your go-to gal if you have any general questions about what the program includes or getting in touch. If you want to speak to current students in our program, I'm kind of your gal for all those kind of questions.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alan Clark. I'm the co-director of the Arabic flagship program here at the University of Mississippi. We'd love to have you study some Arabic. Is anybody interested in Arabic on this call? All right, yay. It's going to be a lot of fun, I would imagine. You're going to learn a lot. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
Awesome, thank you. All right, I think that's it for our Arabic team right now. How about our Chinese team? Would y'all like to, who jumps in first? You can cut each other off. Don't maybe.
Maybe I could go first. Sorry, I'm the program coordinator for the Chinese project program.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, nice to meet you all. And if you have any questions regarding the program, just talk to me or Dr. Dyer.
Sarah set me up. Thank you, Sarah. Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Dyer. I'm an associate dean at the university, but I'm also a faculty member in the Department of Modern Languages, which is in large part hosting the Institute this summer with Summer College. And I have the pleasure of serving as a co-director for both the Arabic and the Chinese flagship programs here. So Dr. Clark and I are the co-directors in Arabic. And there's another person who's not here, Dr. Zhang, who is doing the same thing in Chinese. And what you see before you is actually a wonderful collection of folks. So you've met Sarah, you've met Dr. Clark and Lauren. You're also going to meet in just a minute two of the instructors in the Chinese program. And then there's also Madeline. Madeline, you want to say hi to everybody? Madeline works with the Arabic program as well. A few words, Madeline.
Hi, I'm Madeline. I'm currently in the Arabic flagship program, and I will be the Arabic counselor for this upcoming summer. So if you decide to participate, you will see a lot of me, and I look forward to getting to know y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, Shan.
Hello, everyone. I'm one of the instructors of Chinese program. So if you're interested in Chinese program this summer, if you come here at Ole Miss, we will spend 1 month together. So nice to meet you all today.
Thank you. And Sean?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Sean. Nice to meet you all. And last year I have this honor to teach in the program as well. And this summer I will continue my same duty. Hopefully, I will teach the same level as advanced level. So it would be nice to have you to join the program this summer.
And Sean and Shan, as they said, they were both teaching last summer here on campus. And we're hoping to have, this summer, we're hoping to have 2 levels in Chinese. So these are the 2 teachers. And we're hoping for 1 level in Arabic. There's another person who's not on the call tonight, but another person who will serve as the teacher in Arabic. Some of you might have heard, by the way, of a program called Star Talk. Star Talk is a federally funded program, and the University of Mississippi had Star Talk programs in Chinese for the last 15 years. And this summer, we have what is essentially a successor to Star Talk. So we have our own Chinese program this summer, and we're adding Arabic. So Arabic will be a second language this summer. So I'm going to turn it back over to Wendy. I think she has a few more words, and then we can answer any questions you have about the programs.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Dr. Dyer. And yes, this program is the successor to Star Talk and an expansion of that work, because in the past we were Chinese only, and now we're able to offer the Arabic program. So we're excited about that. All right, let me get this back up here real quick. All right. So I want to say a few words. I know students a lot of times are asking questions. You'll see after in a minute, Kathy Thompson, I'll have her introduce herself, but you may be sending her questions about what it's like to live on campus in the summer. So I thought I'd share a few things. While you're with us for the month, you'll have a meal plan. Monday through Friday, you'll have 2 meals a week on that meal plan. And then we also cater meals too. We know that students like Rebel Market. That's the sort of cafeteria style food. We also have a union that has like Chick-fil-A and those things. But you know, it's a whole month on campus. And so we try to give you all some variety. And so we bring in catered meals, and we'll have like special events associated with those and things like that too. So you have a meal plan, you'll have catering. We have a co-curriculum. So when you're not in class and you're not doing cultural enrichment and you're not tutoring, you'll have other things happening around the residence hall. And sometimes you can't balance it all. And then Summer Language Institute will always come first. But if you ever have a night when it's quiet, we have other things happening. So that can be anything from learning to swing dance. You can see in the picture here, we have in the central picture in the bottom, the University of Mississippi has some fabulous historians who've put together an amazing tour that sort of offers us perspective on slavery and enslaved people and their experience of this area and this campus and what they've contributed to it historically. And so there's different opportunities like that to deepen your education, go to the art museum, etc. So that's co-curriculum. There's a lot of different things in that. Cooking classes, recreation. You can see the students on a double decker. We like to go to the square. Everybody likes to go get yogurt and those things, but we also go to baseball games and stuff like that. We may do some zip lining this summer and rock climbing. So there's recreational opportunities on the weekend because you need to get out of those books sometimes. You need to just like shake it off. And do fun things with friends, and we know that, so we make that possible. The other thing that I think students really value is while you're with us on campus, you are housed in a residence hall that's just for summer college students. So y'all, our leadership students, our research lab students, all those students are in one place together. There's no college students there except the ones who are counselors. And so you have that space to yourselves and you really kind of own it. Students tend to get to know one another well. They play a lot of ping pong. Sometimes I walk in and I'm like, what is happening in here? There's some kind of activity. Like one day there was like a massive like card house city that some students had built. I don't know. It's your space while you're here. And I think students really appreciate having that kind of refuge from classes and all that other stuff. Another thing that we want to make sure you know, because your parents may ask about it, is that you are free to move around on campus, but we do have a curfew. We do have supervision at all times, 24/7. Our staff are on the campus and they are there for you. So if you decide to do something like twist your ankle, which somebody does every summer, and then they have to go to the ER because they think maybe it's sprained or broken, we will be there for you. We will take you in a heartbeat and you will be in good hands. So you will have that kind of residential support. We know that you're ready for college academically, but we will provide safety and support because we know you're not quite college students yet. Our counselors do a lot of that work, and I want to highlight the advantage that they bring. You heard Sarah and Madeline, they are like the program coordinators. They'll coordinate a lot of the cultural enrichment, but you'll also have tutor counselors that they go to your classes sometimes, they offer tutoring, and they live there with you. You'll have a lot of other counselors too, besides. These guys are probably one of the favorite things what students say every year, because they are advanced undergraduates, typically juniors and seniors. You'll see some graduate students too. They have a variety of majors. So if you're trying to think, well, do I do pre-med or do I do law? You can talk to students who are doing that right now. You can talk to students who are in the flagships. You can talk to students who are doing internships and have done internships, students who have studied abroad with the flagship programs, and really get their stories and learn and get information that you can use to make your decisions going forward. So they're a great resource. They're not just there to make sure that you're like curfew. I mean, that's important to me. You got to be hitting your curfew times, but they're really there to be a resource for you as more experienced students. The application process, I'm going to say a few words about that. I know it's onerous. I'm just going to put that out there. There's multiple steps. No one loves that, but it's just something we have to do, and I'm going to explain why. The first step that you have to do when you apply, you filled out your interest form on our website. You get an email from Miss Kathy, who's on this call, and it tells you, here, watch this video and submit your university application. You may think, why do I have to do that? I don't know that I've been admitted to the language institutes yet. The reason you have to do it is because these are college credit bearing classes that you're taking. If you're not admissible to the university as a dual credit student, we can't let you take the classes. It's an accreditation thing. We don't decide it. It's really about our state and our regional accrediting body that says you must be admissible to the college as a dual credit student. So we put you through that process first, so that the committee knows you're admissible and you don't get all excited because you're admitted and then later find out, oh, I can't get into the university. So we get you through the university process first. To do that, like I said, we have that instructional video. You submit your application to the university. Then you send your transcript, your spring schedule, and your school approval form to Miss Kathy at the email address that she's provided. Or you can upload them. We have a link for that too, whatever you like, but you send them to us. And then we send that over to admissions, okay? If you send all your stuff to admissions, sometimes they won't realize that you're our student. And so they'll admit you, but then nothing will happen. So it's really important that you let us have that piece of the process so that then admissions tells us, okay, Jordan's in, he's good, he can go ahead. So that's really important to us. Send us test scores. That's also helpful, not just for admissions, but for scholarships. And I'll say a couple words about that afterwards. But just a reminder, send those or upload them so Ms. Kathy has those. And if you have any questions, maybe you do the university application and you say, you know what, I don't want to pay the application fee. I can't, do that right now. She'll talk to you about how you can get a fee waiver and if you're eligible for a fee waiver. So that is possible, and that's something you should know. All right, so you've done the university application, you've sent all those forms in. The next thing you do is you complete the internal application that we have. Some of that information will be the same, but it's important because this is the one that the committee's going to see. Okay, this is the one that, the folks who are going to decide who gets into these programs, they will review the information in there. We're also going to ask you to send in your recommendation letters, your essay. So you'll get that in an email. Ms. Kathy will send it to you and it explains, here's how to do it. Here's where to send it to us. And then if you're selected, at that point, we will get you placed in terms of your language level. So we'll take a language sample, both written and oral usually, and decide from there where you go. And if you're thinking, I don't even know the language, like that's the whole point here, that's okay. We'll tell you what beginners do. So you'll be all set for that. So that's the process. You may have questions right now about that process. Go ahead and drop them in the chat while it's on your mind before you forget. And we will make time to answer those questions in a minute. I want to just make sure you know who different people are in the pre-college staff. So when you're emailing us back and forth, that's not going to Dr. Clark or Dr. Dyer, that's going to my office, right? And so that email that you have, SCHS at Ole Miss, most of you have been using that, that goes directly to Miss Kathy right there. You can see her picture, she's on this call. She's the one who's going to get back to you, and she's the one who really knows like what's happening most of the time with your applications. I might be off doing some other stuff with some of our other programs. But she usually has her finger on the pulse of what's happening. So she's a great first go-to. And if she can't answer your question, you can always come to me. I'm here to help. And then these other folks that you see, Ari Lugo is our international admissions counselor. You'll see her a lot in summer college. She does work with our international students who come to take summer classes too, but she also manages things like, the luau and like the co-curriculum stuff, the tours, the trips, different places. She does a lot of the fun stuff too. And then Dr. Ellen Shelton, who is the director of our programs, and she's the one who, if you have any kind of real serious problems, she knows how to fix them, and we'll go to her with that. So I just wanted you to have a sense of who some of the other folks are that you may engage with. All right, so now's the good part. We're going to talk questions in a minute, but I would like to offer the opportunity to our representatives from the programs, if you would like to say a few more words, maybe one from Arabic, one representative from Arabic, and one representative from Chinese, to say a few more words just about the things that you plan to do in those classes, just a little bit more detail than what I could provide.
Maybe we could start with in Chinese, either Sean or Shan could just share a little bit about a class in Chinese.
Shanshan, you want to go first or?
You can go first. I can add up.
Okay, so last year, basically, I was in charge of the advanced class, and the class size was around 7 to 9 people. And we did had a good time because we everyone's are really hardworking, and during the program, we had a lot of fun. Like we watched the basically the whole thing for the advanced program is introducing Taiwan. So because I'm from Taiwan, so I introduced them a lot of topic regarding like traveling, transportation, and night markets, and how to worship God in the Eastern way. So yeah, we did learn a lot. I learned a lot from the student, and student also get a lot of fun from me. So yeah, pretty much like that. And we also have some cultural activity in the afternoon. I believe they have tried the bubble tea, and we made a sugar coat fruit, and also some other thing I forgot. But I believe if you join the program this summer, you will also have the same fun as they do. Thank you.
Yes. So continue with like what Mr. Song has mentioned. So basically our Chinese class is like authentic material oriented. So no matter which level you're in, the teacher are trying to provide you with the most authentic language environment, all the resources, and also that's going to help you to really learn, not only learn Chinese language, but also learn culture and how like native speakers can use the language in the situation. And also, as Sean mentioned, we have like class, pretty much very intense class every day from Monday to Friday. And 4 class sessions, if I remember correctly. And in the afternoon, when we are done with class, we're gonna move to like bigger classroom with all the students gonna have the cultural activity. So that's pretty much what a day looks like. So we're gonna spend a lot of time together. And maybe at the first you may seem like you don't really know anyone in the class, but as time goes by, you will get familiar with your classmates, and also you will feel more comfortable in this program. So I would say you should have a try. That's really an interesting experience for you as a for your like future. So yeah, I think that's it.
There's class in the morning, and there's lunch, and there's class in the afternoon, and then, as they were saying, cultural activities after class, and then we have tutoring as well. And all of that is done actually in a way that the students in the language programs can also participate with the larger group of students that Ms. Franger was talking about, the big group who are in summer college. And so there are other activities and things to do for all the students. Alan, maybe give them like a preview of what a class will be like in the Arabic course.
I can, sure, yeah. It's a life-changing experience learning a new language. I think everybody would agree with that. There's something that happens inside the brain when somebody learns a new language. They become, if you would, it's built in there that's a new psyche is born. I'm being visited. So you're going to be in class for 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and each day equals about a week's worth of material. And so from the very beginning, it's going to be like everybody else was saying here, it's a functional orientation to language learning. And so you're learning how to function in the language. We're not concentrating on a communicative approach to language learning or the grammar translation approach to language learning, but rather how you live in the language, how it becomes real to you. That makes sense? Does anybody have any questions? I can answer some questions. Does that sound exciting? Did I scare everybody off?
Don't be scared, everybody. My daughter did this last summer, and she's kind of a shy person. Like in English, you're like, could you just say a few more words? Just answer questions with like 4 more words. That would be great. She's kind of shy. She loved this program, and it sounds like a lot of work. You will enjoy doing it, so it won't feel like you're under a huge weight. It's just a lot of fun. It's fabulous. So I highly recommend it. All the students who've gone through it, I've never heard a word that was anything other than I love it. So, all right, questions, folks. What do you got for us? Keep us talking. Anything you want to know. Go ahead, Jordan.
Okay. Is it okay? I know you said to specifically type them in the chat, but is it okay if I couldn't think of the words to really describe it like just in type. So is it okay if I ask a question about the application process?
Go for it.
Currently through the high school I'm going through is actually Ole Miss's Blackboard program. It's mainly you communicate through the teachers through email. I've talked to them, but not as much as I would teachers. So would I still ask them, like some of my past teachers, through Blackboard for the letters of recommendation, or would I do it from other sources? Or I'm just kind of curious on that.
I would say, and Dr. Dyer may have another perspective on this, if you have a language instructor, especially English is fine if you haven't taken a foreign language, you can ask them for a recommendation. If you have other folks who know you in another learning capacity, that might be not a bad idea. And certainly I know you've worked with the UMHS staff and they know your academic performance pretty comprehensively. So you could ask them too, if you felt comfortable.
Okay.
Any of them would be happy to do it.
Sounds good. Thank you. I was just wondering.
Great question though.
Thank
you. Other folks, questions about anything, application, what to expect? There are no wrong questions here because there's a lot that you don't know, I'm sure.
Is anybody on the Zoom right now taking or studying Chinese or Arabic already, or have you studied before? Other than the Arabic and Chinese teachers.
We hope they have. You can use the little hand icon if you need to. Okay, Joseph's using the hand icon. Great. I see Anna.
So where are, let's see, that was Anna, and who was the other one? Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you, Anna? Where are you going to high school? or Joseph?
I go to Regent School of Oxford.
Wow, great. And so you've studied Arabic before?
No, Chinese with a
Chinese.
different program.
Yeah, is that the online virtual high school where you're studying Chinese?
Well, right now I go to Regents, but a few years ago I was on an online high school that offered Chinese, so that's where I learned
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Wendy, didn't we learn about that last year?
Yeah, I remember hearing about that last year. So
Yeah, and we also found we were looking around to see where Chinese was taught in the state. I mean, it actually is taught in several high schools in Mississippi, including Holly Springs. And you can actually look at the teacher right now. Shan is teaching Chinese at Holly Springs High School. But we learned there's a really big Chinese program down in Biloxi, and down on the coast. Joseph, did you study Chinese or Arabic?
I studied Arabic and I currently go to Shawnee Mission South in like Overland Park, Kansas.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's great. I have some friends who live in Overland Park. Did you study for a year or how long?
I'm currently in my second year.
All right. Fantastic. We've been connecting with a number of high schools in the country that are teaching Arabic. Lauren just went and did some recruiting in Chicago. She didn't actually go there, right, Lauren?
Correct. But Joseph, I might have, is your teacher Ustaza Annie? I've spoken to her a couple of times.
Yes, she is my teacher.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay. Madeline, you studied Arabic in high school in a very different way, didn't you?
Yes, I participated in the NSLAY program. I did a summer in Marrakesh with American councils, and then I did the all-year program with Ahmed East.
And that's something the Nestle Y program is something that, being those of you still in high school, that's something that you might want to look into, because it provides great opportunities to study abroad. And Madeline did that in Arabic, and certainly you can do that in Chinese and other languages as well.
I would add a lot of our students do go on, they'll do a summer with us and then apply to do that maybe, especially between senior year and freshman year. And some of our students from last summer are in the applicant pool. I haven't heard yet whether they got in or not for next year, but I dropped the information in the chat if any of you want to see it. I have a couple questions that came to me just directly, and I thought they probably are, if one of you is asking, probably a bunch of you would like to know. One student asked questions about scholarships and what the costs are. So if you go on our website, you'll see the costs laid out, right? And that's just like the bare bones, like that's how it is. But that doesn't include scholarships, and it does note that you may get scholarships. All of you will not have to pay a cent for your actual classes. That is covered by scholarships. We will scholarship that. If you are admitted to our program, you will not pay for the classes themselves. What you do end up seeing as costs are housing, meals, and your program fees, okay? Those costs are going to be defrayed in part for some of you by your ACT or SAT scores. So if you send us your test scores, you don't even have to ask us. We will look at them and say, okay, you automatically get certain scholarships. 27 ACT of 27 and above, you will get scholarships, and there's several different levels above that. So you can actually go for pretty affordable cost. If you have need, right? So some students may qualify for need. You can qualify based on your academics, and any of you who are admitted to this program will have good academics. So that's solid. And we would look at that, and we would look at your financial need. So that's something else you can do. And again, Ms. Kathy can show you the application that you need to do that. So don't worry if you're thinking, man, I'd love to do this. but it does, cost a lot. Definitely talk to us. We prioritize this program for scholarships because it's so important to us. So you would be good applicants for that if you would like. The other question I got was about deadlines. So some of you may be aware that the 28th of this month is our early decision deadline. The nice thing about getting your application in by that deadline is that the committee will review you first, you and your group. It's a smaller group than the general big group that they review in April. So you have a better chance of getting in. And the other nice thing is you'll know earlier, so you can make your summer plans. You probably know by mid-March or so, you'll know if I'm in, and then you can decide, okay, is this what I'm doing for my summer, or am I going to go to Disney instead? Whatever. But you would choose this over Disney any day, right? Like, it's better, obviously. But so you will be able to know and decide. If you're like, I can't do February 28th, I've got too much going on, that's okay. April 1st is the deadline for everybody else. And then you would know by mid to late April whether you're admitted. Okay. So those are good questions that I think a lot of people wonder about.
There is no better way to spend July than being in Oxford, Mississippi, studying Arabic or Chinese.
I agree. It's super fun. What other questions do y'all have? Anybody? Can I just see a show of hands? I'm curious. How many of you are from out of state? You're not from Mississippi. You can just do the little hand thing. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. Good to know. Those of you who are in Mississippi, we actually have a little bit more funding for Mississippi folks, but don't worry, out of state folks. We got you covered. We'll help you out too. Like I said, those ACT things, that's for anybody. All right. Anything else that's on your minds tonight? I'm going to know about, can I ever leave campus, or am I trapped there? COVID questions, anything like that?
Feel free to contact any of us after this meeting, and be happy to talk with you or answer any questions that you have.
Yeah, I'm going to put a couple of key emails. Lisa, Amanda, you have a question. Am I right? No? Okay. Lisa, did you have a question? Thought I saw some movement on your little, no? Okay. All right, so the email I just dropped in the chat is our general email for folks who are just like trying to submit things. And then the other email is my personal email. And I'm going to put Dr. Dyer's in there too. You can contact any of us.
I don't know where.
I saw the question about the syllabus. So
Okay.
if you want to contact, I'd say either Dr. Clark or maybe Sean, they can send you a sample syllabus.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's a good question. Yeah, we're happy to share that with you. And again, if you're just wondering more about the flagship programs too, don't hesitate to reach out to us if you're curious what it would look like to study as an undergraduate. We can connect you with the right folks here on campus. And we can connect you to students too, who can tell you about the study abroad opportunities and all those kinds of things. I'm going to stop the recording.